Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I am Alenvil, and here we are with another cast of one of my games because, yeah, I'm still lacking in replays I can actually go over, so I'm gonna do it this way right now. So, we are having this matchup right now. Let's talk about what we'll start off here. We have the blue team with the Singed, Echo, Kennen, Tristana, and Morgana. Meanwhile, we have the red team with Darius in the top lane, Udyr in the jungle, Xerath mid, Jhin, and Nautilus bot. So right now we have the Udyr sitting in the brush. The whole blue team is running up there. They get the grounded onto the Udyr. The Udyr is now trying to find the great escape. Does flash the binding, otherwise that would have been a kill. Udyr is still taking some damage here. Just clearly walking away. Which is the smartest move, let's be honest. The Xerath is moving forward. You can see the enemy team moving towards the Xerath. Xerath has to force his flash as well now. So 2 flashes forced by the blue team already, which is a good idea to be honest. Now the Xerath is going after the Tristana, which not too sure, and they are stealing the red buff off of the Udyr, which can put him back a bit. Xerath is pushing quite far forward, to be honest. Right now, you can see that the Morgana and the Tristana are lurking around. Kennen is there as well. Xerath gets hit by one ability, can still escape. There is the shackle. He is held down, and that is first blood for the Kennen there. Not perhaps the best idea, to be honest, to play around that way, but mistakes can happen. Maybe a ward would have been helpful there. Not really being used, so happens. We see the Echo going on to the Darius, gives him a bit of damage. Darius does answer quite a bit. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, we do see the Jhin and the Nautilus have taken the advantage to try to push themselves forward for a level. Meanwhile, Udyr is getting the red buff off of the blue team, so that is at least something of a saving grace, to be honest. But right now, the Xerath is a bit behind, trying to get some more hits through there. We do see the level up. Both sides are level 2. The Jhin is probably closer to level 3 already. We do see good coordination there. Unfortunately, a hook onto a minion. Otherwise, the Nautilus could have gotten the Tristana. Xerath is trying his best to force out whatever he can do. Meanwhile, we see the Darius having a big push against the Singed, which can help him out quite a bit. He does go for a bit of damage onto the Singed, throws him in tower range. He unfortunately answers with a hit and gets a few tower shots on there, which is not the ideal situation you want to have playing around. We do see the bot lane is clearing out a pink ward there, so they are trying their best to keep the vision in check right now towards the top bot lane. Udyr is going for the ward there. This could be quite dangerous. Morgana goes for a binding, unfortunately doesn't hit that one and can walk out of that situation. So right now, a bit of an issue is that there are a lot of problems. For example, for the Darius, who gets thrown into tower range, gets 2 tower shots off, and finished off by the Singed. Meanwhile, Kennen is showing a lot of pressure onto the Xerath, who can't really answer pressure that much. We do see the bot lane is sitting comfortably right now. And yeah, we just have to see how this one stays in course right now, I would say. Otherwise, not much to be really said about this. We do see a try for the dredged line. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit there. We do have everything being set up right now. Jhin is about 10 CS ahead, which gives him a fair advantage. The only bigger advantage right now is on side of the Singed against the Darius right now, which means the Jhin is in fairly good position right now to have just the farm up and all that stuff. Unfortunately, it doesn't really look so good for the red side team if you look about the kills. Because Singe has a kill on the Darius, we do have the death of the Xerath already, so it kind of causes a bit more chaos on the side of the red team, with two lanes being a bit behind already. Unfortunately, that dredge line didn't hit once again, and we do have a binding just being put down there. Otherwise, it's a fairly decent run of the game right now. Not much is being doing around. If we would go probably in itemization, I would say that Tristan's probably going for the Storm Razor, and then probably going for example, a rapid fire cannon and an IE. That would be the thought process I would probably follow for the Tristana. Meanwhile, we do have the Jhin, who's just sitting back. Will probably go for the IE. Could go for a Storm Razor as well, depending on how the situation arises, to be honest. Singed is pressuring the Darius. Cannon is equal level, but the Singed is now just going for the Darius once again. Darius actually follows the Singed up, which is probably not the wisest idea you can have, especially since it's the Singed with an ult there. It's going in. Meanwhile, we do have the Udyr who's fighting the Cannon in the river. Xerath isn't really looking for a follow-up, and unfortunately that costs the Udyr his life. Meanwhile, the Darius did win that fight. It was close, but he did win it. And yeah. This doesn't look that good. Unfortunately, another binding didn't hit there. There is a force shot onto the Tristana, but still the issue is the Cannon is kind of going out of his way to become a menace. He already has the fun Hextech Revolver. We'll probably go into a Proto Belt as far as I'm concerned right now, because it feels like kind of the item that they want to go for. Meanwhile, we do see the Udyr still trying to farm up. The Echo is now rotating towards the bot lane, which could cause a bit of chaos right now. Unfortunately, the dredge line does only hit the Morgana, but this could be a chance for them to really do something. The Echo goes in. He doesn't really find his opening really to go in there. The Tristana tries to put some more pressure up. It did cost the Jhin the flash, so the Echo did get something out of this gank, but not really that much where I would say that it's that much. Singe is playing around with the Darius, running away once again. Not really finding the opening. Meanwhile, we do see the Jhin just getting a few shots onto the Tristana, and right now it looks like the Tristana is barely living through that one, and we do see a Jhin ult was being used in there. Unfortunately, our camera did kind of decide not to look at that situation, which is understandable. There was no kill coming out of that one, and the Darius and Singe situation looks more like a kill. The Cannon is going on the Sarah. Serath is not really coming away from this one. Tristana gets hooked under the tower. The Morgana goes down. Nautilus dies of that one. The Jhin decides for the mistake to actually try to go for the Tristana, which was a fairly bad idea. And dies for that one, actually. Not the wisest of moves, let's be honest. We do see the Darius just going after this right now. Singe is running once again through the minion wave, just farming up his minions that way, causing a bit more chaos for the Darius. Darius is looking for the hunt onto the Singed. We do see Udyr going for the Infernal Drake. Meanwhile, we do have the rotation of the Echo top, so there is no danger of that happening, that the Drake could be contested in a smite battle. We do see the Morgana rotating towards that one, hits the Nautilus with that one, and unfortunately can't get anything out of that. Nice ultimate from the Nautilus, knocks up the Morgana. Morgana does throw out her Black Shield now. She goes in for one of those. She does get barely out of there. Unfortunately, it costs the Nautilus his life. The Tristana is now going after the Jhin. Udyr comes back in. Tristana jumps away right now. Does get hit by that one. Gets taken out of commission there. And right now, the Jhin and the Udyr escape this fight right now. The Singe does throw the Darius back a bit, which could cause a lot of chaos for the Darius. Still, Cannon is ahead. And he's proving that while he's even pressuring the Xerath more and more during this matchup, which shows an immaculate a really good level of the Kennen there, how he's just keeping the Zeroth out of the fight. Well, the Singe does pick up his Haunting Geist, which will cause a lot of problems for the Darius, because Darius does have a bit of HP, but nothing to really counteract magic right now. Meanwhile, we do see the Tristana going for the Infinite Edge actually as the first item. Otherwise, nothing really coming up on either side. The Kennen is just sitting on the side. Could probably kill the Udyr if he knew he was there, which, thanks to the vision, not happening. But we do see the Darius pulling in the Singe. The Singe doesn't really care about that, just wants the wave right now. Which I would say is kind of a blessing for the Singe, to be honest. There is a tower plating going down against the Tristana. The Jhin does get the full amount of that one. So that will put him in quite a good place right now. You do see the Kennen rotating up top. Unfortunately, does rotate top. The Zeroth does try to push the wave a bit, but we do see the Kennen going in there. Kennen and Singe are pressuring quite forward. The Udyr could be in a dangerous position right now. There is that grounding. Once again, throws in the Udyr. Udyr is just getting pressured by the Singe. Singe barely doesn't get the kill on the Udyr. Now tries to run away from that one. There is still the Kennen there, who is still running around trying to find the hit. Does get the hit on the Udyr. Meanwhile, we do have the Darius, who is in a predicament because the Kennen is now coming around from the other side as well, which I don't think is ideal for either side. Zeroth not really creating much pressure, I would say, right now to help out his teammates there, because the push doesn't really look like a push. Now Zeroth looks for a push towards top. We do have now a 3-man dive onto the Darius, and this is just them claiming another scalp for their head. Now the Zeroth comes up top. Could probably get something onto the Kennen if he finds him. Kennen smart enough to just jump out of the way. Dodges nicely that one. Singe is now walking around, looking to create some more pressure there. And you can just see the teamwork of the blue team is so much more better right now than what the red team is going with. Right now we do see the Morgana getting hit by the dredge line, does have to cost out the black shield. Meanwhile, the Jhin does put the fourth shot onto the Tristana, which takes her out of the equation in this case right now. Tristana now has the Infinity Edge, which could cause a lot of chaos in the next fight. Morgana is dangerously low and gets taken out by the deadly flourish there. And that is a kill for the bot lane. Meanwhile, we do have, as I said, the Tristana finishing up her Infinity Edge. We have the Kennen, who has his Protobelt done as well. We have the Runic Echoes onto the Echo. But we do have the Warrior onto the Udyr, which could cause a bit of chaos, unfortunately. Otherwise, there is not much. There is the magic resistant, the Merc Treads now for the Darius, which can help quite a bit. Last chapter on the Zeroth, he's quite behind what if you could look at last hits and all that stuff, which is kind of sad, to be honest. We do see that hook. We do see now how the Darius is getting pressured out of this fight. We do see the Kennen being jumped on by the Udyr. And not really much is being developed now from either side. We do see the Echo running around towards the bottom lane, which could cause a lot of chaos. We do have the Udyr, who is close up. We have the Singe, who's just contesting the Darius, and Darius doesn't really want to fight with the Singe there. Tries to execute the Singe, but the Singe does get the kill off of that one. The Echo is being caught out, does have the recall right now. Is trying to escape out of that one. Udyr is doing his best and gets that kill off of there. Tristana is now coming in with the Morgana. There's not much you can do really about that. Jhin is now trying to come in there. The Zeroth has just backed out of that fight completely. Gets one hit off. Is dangerously low already. And this should be just red team retreating out of this fight as good as they can. And it looks like that is exactly happening right now. Now the Jhin has an Infinity Edge now as well, which helps the team quite out immensely. Goes for the Merc Treads, which makes kind of sense against this enemy team. You have one AD player with the Tristana. You could probably itemize towards that later on, but you do need some safety against all that magic damage, and since a lot of them even build magic penetration, you just don't want to fight that. We do have the Nautilus now rotating from the river in to get a good gank off. Gets a hit on the Tristana. Deadly Flourish can't hit, unfortunately, since there is no chance. There's the Echo in there as well. Udyr is now in there as well, so we're starting off the big bot party we can have right now. We do see a good hit on the Morgana. Echo is dropping dangerously low, gets taken down. Tristana gets hit by the Deadly Flourish, which means a root there. There is another Jhin ultimate being fired off there, and Morgana barely lives through that one. The Kennen, we do have the Singe teleporting top. That is a kill now. Kennen unfortunately ults there, takes everybody out there. The Jhin is the only survivor, tries to flash out of that situation, tries to get out of there, gets hit by the stun, and that is his life as well. And there is not much being done towards the mid lane. The mid lane is now pushing towards that one, but it's just close how that fight just ended there. That could have been so much better. Unfortunately, it didn't work out in that case. We do see the Xerath now still trying to farm up. Not completely sure that is how you want to have the fight going, but once again, you don't have really much help support there, I would say. I mean, everything came down there, and those three did fight valiantly, but unfortunately it was a bit too much, and they couldn't take advantage out of that one, and the Kennen is now ahead with 5-2, 5-0-2, while the Xerath is just 5-0. Singe is just going now for the Darius, the Singe has 2 levels advantage. He's just punishing the Darius as good as he can, just doesn't care about what Darius is doing there. Darius is now trying to find an escape route out of this one. Just going for the survival, just running as fast as he can. There's no chance really to get there. He gets thrown back and nothing much to do. Right now, the Udyr does get the Drake for that one, but unfortunately he has to give his life, which is the second Drake mount will be the end. The soul that will be unveiled right now, but still they're having so much pressure right now. We do see the Xerath gets hit by the binding, rotation up there, dead in the water, bit too far forward for my taste, I would say, for the mid laner. And right now we do see them threatening now to take down the tower, which they do. The second tower onto the red books right now. So they have taken quite a good number of towers. They do have a good amount of kills. Unfortunately, a lot of them have been on the jungler. He's been doing a good work, actually. He's been going in. Unfortunately, it's just either too big of a situation, as some were already contesting it right now. The Darius is looking to get the red buff. Okay. Now, the Singed and the Echo are going for the top turret. They do unleash the Rift Herald, which causes a lot of chaos right now. We do see them going in there. Singed is just keeping everything clear right now. Darius does stop the Rift Herald from taking down the turret, does get a hook on the Echo. Echo does try to pull out a chance to get in there. Singe is just doing his damage. Xerath is now moving top there as well. Kennen was behind him. He does get a good combo onto the Kennen, but Kennen just still survives through that one, which, yeah, is a bit unfortunate, I would say. A bit. Not much you can really do about that one. Meanwhile, we do see the Darius just going in there. Just doing what he can. And otherwise, Darius is going for a Trinity Force, which could be a wise choice, but I think something that could get you a bit more bulky, especially since the Singe is so hell-bent on getting you out of these fights, would be a smart choice, I feel like. Right now we do see the Udyr got a Tiamat there as well. Meanwhile, the Jhin probably looks for an Essence Reaver. It's not a bad item choice, not at all. There's not much you can do. Morgana does use the back shield once again. She's trying to get out of dodge for this one. Does have to use the heal there as well. And Morgana is just dropping dangerously low. gets hit by the dancing grenade, and Deadly Flourish takes her out of there, and Jin just walks away after that kill. Meanwhile, the Darius is being still bullied by this one. The Udyr does find the cannon, which is not the ideal situation. He tries to go in on the cannon, which is a dangerous situation. Meanwhile, Jin does take down the blue turret bot, so there is at least a turret for a turret exchange. If we look at the gold difference right now, we do see the cannon is about 3.4k ahead already on that one. The Udyr is ahead of the Echo, and the Singe is about 2.5k, 2.6k ahead of the Darius, which is a bit of an awkward situation, which probably creates this gap that does exist about the 3.4k. That is the difference right now at this minute mark. We do see the Echo going on the Nautilus. Nautilus is just keeping it close, does get the dredge line off, the hook does hit as well, the stun does hit, but this is not much you can do. The Udyr is going in on the Singe. I'm not pretty sure if that's the option you really want to go for, as the Udyr is trying his best to get some damage out there, but probably won't, and the Darius does have to bail after the cannon goes in there, and this is just not what you want to see if you're the red team. You're being pressured quite a bit right now. Let's be honest, you're being pressured quite a bit. Darius goes in there. There's not much you can really do with that one. And it's just not right. Morgana gets hit by a combination of the Xerath, but it's just not enough to really be threatening. Jin gets hit by a binding, but there won't be any follow-up that can really come after that one. We do see the Jin going for the Essence Reaver. Singe does take the top tier 2 turret, so they do have a tier 2 turret as well now. So they have a 4-1 lead already. They did take the tier 2 turret mid as well, so right now, blue team is sitting in a corner, which is not the ideal situation you want to be in. Tristana will now take down the bot tier 1 turret. Udyr going in onto the Singe. Can he take the Singe down without taking much of damage? Singe is now running away, trying to get out of this situation. Does not run into the Deadly Flourish, is trying to save himself. Udyr unfortunately overextends a bit too much, dies for that one, and the Jin claims the kill for that one. Meanwhile, the blue team does claim the Mountain Drake, their first Drake of this game. And you can just see the advantage that the Singe has. Finished off the Raleigh already, finished off the Liandries. Meanwhile, the Darius is still sitting on the work to the Trinity Force. Now he finally finished the Trinity Force. The red team seemed like there were people who wanted to surrender, which is an interesting situation, because if we look at how the teams are developing right now, there is a difference, right? That's to be proved. But for example, the Jin is the second highest earner in the whole entire game next to the Singe right now, which can turn around the game. The Xerath is quite behind. There is no doubt about that one. The Xerath is so far behind. The Singe now goes in on the Jin. Jin is holding on as good as he can. He does get a nice fourth shot out of there, and the Deadly Flourish holds him into position so that the Udyr can claim a kill. And right now it looks like the red team are going with the 3-man push situation. Weird 1-3-1. Doesn't really look like that should be the case, but the Xerath does have his Luden's Echo now done, so that's something. The Nautilus has the Zeke's Convergence done, which is helpful. Morgana has an Ardent Sensor and the Moby Boots done. Both supports have Moby Boots actually. But otherwise, I don't see so much from the Xerath coming in terms of damage and all that stuff. Unfortunately, the Morgana can't get hit by the Deadly Flourish there. Does her best to dance out of the way, and the Darius does get the finishing kill onto him. The cannon is now being slowed up, just has to force out his flash. Deadly Flourish does keep the cannon in place so that Darius has a chance. There is the ultimate from the cannon. He's doing his best to hold this one off right now, and the Jin claims about 1,000 gold just for that cannon kill, which helps him so much. Weiter Nautilus is there. There is the Deadly Flourish that holds the Echo in place as well. He's down now as well. There is the Udyr, who is taking a lot of damage right now. Dark Harvest has been procced from the Jin. There are a few shots. Unfortunately, the Jin can't find the opening he really wants to, and has to give it up. Meanwhile, we do see maybe the red team claiming the tier 1 mid. Barely doesn't. The Nautilus is in a dangerous situation, gets taken out of commission there, unfortunately. And we see how far and beyond this game just goes. There is no saving. This is a big problem right now that the red team has. They have a few players who are doing their best to actually get this game out of balance once again, and we can see now Essence Reaver and a rapid fire cannon done for the Jhin as well, so he is now riding pretty high. We do see the Tristana went for an Infinity Edge and a Bloodthirst as the first 2 items, which is a bit much. The Jhin is going into a dangerous position right now, running a bit too far. Decides to turn away because I think if he followed even further it would have been his death. We do see the Darius claiming the kill on that one. Nautilus is looking for an opening. Unfortunately, the dredge line doesn't connect there. The ultimate does go out there. Kennen is safe by the black shield, so that is one denied fight there. Tristana will probably go with a rapid fire cannon. I would say that the Morgana is going for the Zonias. Meanwhile, can't really say much about what the Xerath will go for because he doesn't really have much items that to follow that one up. I would say perhaps a Morellicum wouldn't be wise. Perhaps the Banshees just to keep a bit more in case with all the magic damage that is being thrown out this matchup. We want to see the Udyr has a Spectre's Cowl, so he is going for something more defensive. Perhaps it's a Spirit Visage would be a nice idea, just to claim some more, and that is exactly what he builds up. The Sterix is going to hopefully come soon for the Darius, but it's just an awkward situation. You can see the big problem, which is this huge rift we're right now having between the blue and the red team, is right now kind of forced through 2 locations. We do see the Jhin has a good amount of money. We do see that there's a good amount of money on the Udyr. There's a good amount of money on the Nautilus, which is okay. The Nautilus is kind of even to everything else, but if you just look at the 5,800 that is on the Xerath, it's not ideal. It's not really ideal, and Xerath is now being caught out. Unfortunately, not sure if he checked the minimap there as they did rotate towards that one. He got taken out, unfortunately, for that one. We do see now a fight breaking out onto the Dragon Pit, where there's 1 kill, 2 kills for the Jhin, 1 kill for the Udyr. We do have the Tristana barely surviving right now, gets taken down as well. Triple now for the Jhin. Zinj kills off the Darius in the top lane, so the Tristana went for the Shiv. Zonias is now for the Morgana there as well. There is the Sinch who's pushing up top, but honestly right now, after this fight, there's so much more that the red team has to keep in consideration right now. The inhibitor turret is now in danger. We do see the Sterix Gauge being built, an Abyssal Mass for the Nautilus. And we do see how much the red team is... The red team is in a good position, to be honest. As you can see, you got 3 teammates there from the red side who took out 4 in that fight and didn't lose a member on the same point. We did kind of have an early fight where they did pick out the Xerath, which did cause them to actually lose a few. I think at least the Tristana ult was lost out of that one, but still the Xerath is in a troubling situation right now. We do see the Udyr running into the Singe. Does get a good amount of damage off. Unfortunately, he does run into the Kennen as well. There's the Echo falling off. And we see the Udyr actually escaping from that problem. Everybody else. But we can see how this situation is just rolling about, to be honest. We do see the Jhin. We do see Jhin, Udyr, and Nautilus doing their best right now to fight. Xerath needs to fight, probably needs to sit in the side lane just to get some more farm in. Because, honestly, right now, the Xerath is not really a helpful possibility for the team. Which does cause quite a bit of chaos right now. We do have the Jhin, who's quite ahead right now in comparison to the Tristana. As you can see, they're about 3k ahead. And that's kind of why the graphs are, why the gold amount at 30 minutes are so close. We're about, let's say, not 900. Udyr is being caught out right now, unfortunately. That was a lovely throw from the Singed. That actually helped out quite a bit. Nice ultimate from the Nautilus. Singed is now pressuring forward. Doesn't actually find a chance to grab the Udyr, so they're now trying to fight their way back into this. Udyr goes back in there, gets thrown once again, still lives actually through that one. Morgana goes down. Tristana is now going for the chase on the Udyr, but has to pay the price as well. Kennen now goes in with an ultimate. Jhin is trying to find his way out of there when Kennen uses the full combination. Deadly Flourish doesn't hit. There is the one hit that's missing, and that is it. The Udyr gets the kill off, and they did lose the Nautilus, but 4 had to give their life just to take one person out of that team. Kennen finished the item off and went off to a Rabadon, so more magic damage that the cannon will throw at you. Meanwhile, we have the Jhin, who did finish off his Scimitar, so there's that option. What the next option will be is, which is kind of an awkward situation, will be the Essence River. We do see a Bramble Vest on the Nautilus, which will throw Tristana's damage quite at her again. Maybe a bit more magic resistant would be nice, but forcing the Tristana to actually harm himself through that one is a nice situation. We haven't seen much itemization more out of the Xerath, unfortunately. The Darius hasn't done so as well. And we see the Xerath is being pressured by the Singed, who has now his Righteous Glory, so he can just run in. The Udyr is now fighting a bit too far forward, does get a kill off on the Echo, but unfortunately that is not enough. And we see the red team backing off since they know the Singed is up top. There's a Kennen there, there's the Morgana there. Just not what you want to really fight. The Singed is going even further, just goes in on that one actually. Trinity Force now finished by the Udyr as well, so he has something to do as well. The Nautilus is being caught out of there. Jhin ultimate can't really claim what they really want to do for that one, and looks like Jhin is now paying the price himself. No, he actually survives that one thanks to the ult there of Tristana. Spectre Cowl now on the Darius, which means he's probably going for the Spirit Visage as well, which is a welcome addition for the team, since they do need a bit more resistance against the magic, which is kind of this awkward situation. So we see them now taking the second Mountain Drake, so now there's still one Drake up for the soul for the red team. Darius does get that one. Warmock's now on the Singed, which makes him really problematic to kill, to be honest. He has a Righteous Glory, he has a Raw Eyes, he has the Leandries. If he runs at you, you're gonna have a problem. Let's be honest. You see the Udyr once again just trying to find something weird, now at even gold, which is a bit surprising with looking at what Xerath has built together. So he's has a Spellbinder, so I'm guessing he's probably going for the Morelos, and that would probably be an option. We see the Udyr moving up top, going in on the Singed, does get a lot of damage onto the Singed. The Singed is just running around him, and you can just see how much the Spirit Visage is helping him out. The Singed just runs into a Deadly Flourish now and is finished off, and that Spirit Visage is showing so much regeneration for him. Meanwhile, we do see the bot lane is being pushed on. That tier 2 turret will be gone before long. We do see the Echo. The Udyr does catch the Echo out there. He finishes him off before the Echo can actually do something. Tristana goes in there, gets taken out of the equation instantly. There is a lot of HP lost on the Jhin right now, who will have to take his time to regen that back up, but a few shots should do that right now. Ken is looking to go in on the Udyr. Gets hit by the stun there, just runs back and gets out of there, just not to force any more problem. We do have the Spellbinder Orb now. The Oblivion Orb, I mean. The Oblivion Orb now on the Zerath, which makes him finally finish off the Morelnemicon, but still 2 items at the 35-minute mark is an awkward situation. And that is something you have to keep in mind. But right now we do see the Singed is still farming up, which helps his team out enormously. Probably the last item. I'm not too sure what you really want to build as a Singed. You could go for Zonias to get a bit more armor to perhaps avoid the Jhin, the Udyr, a few problems. Right now we do see the Echo is in a precarious situation as well as the Singed. The Singed looks like he's going for the Zerath, but not really. There's a fight developing towards the bottom side. The Tristana does escape that one barely. The Singed runs into the Jhin. The Jhin has a problem now. The Echo goes down for that one. The Jhin is now being surrounded by the Echo and by the Singed, and he goes down for that one, unfortunately. Right now we do see that the Zerath is doing his best to create some damage. We do see the Nautilus holding out quite nicely. Darius is still going in. There comes Udyr now in. There is the kill on the Morgana finally. Nautilus is just holding up as good as he can. He finally goes down, but he tanked a lot out of that fight. There is now the redemption being put onto the Singed, so he has a lot more HP. He goes in on the Darius. Darius keeps on chasing him. What is rule number 1 of League? Don't chase the Singed, and he barely survives that one. Just barely. If the Tristana would have wanted that one, Tristana could have probably gotten a double kill. We do see the Udyr now going onto the Tristana. Obliterates the Tristana. The Tristana's not having the time of her life, to be honest, right now, with how this whole matchup is going. Jhin is still working on his next item. Hasn't really have much development for a while now, but we do see that I would say that either the Udyr is going for a Scimitar, which would be nice to avoid a bit more CC effects, or is going for Bloodthirster, Blade of the Rune King, but I would probably favor a Scimitar. We do see the Thornmail now on the Nautilus. He is a bit more of a tanky guy now. He will reflect some damage, which will be nice. We do have the next Drake coming up about 14 seconds. If we can take advantage, if Red Team can take advantage of that one, that would be nice. But Udyr is a sneaky git. Udyr is a sneaky git. He's going for the Baron, and you can just see that the Red Team kind of decides we'll do the Baron call. There is the Drake, yes. Nautilus is right. The Drake is up. This will force a Drake fight actually for the soul in the next one, but they do claim a Baron off of that one, so even though they don't get the Drake right now, they do get the Baron out of that one, so that is still something helpful. We do see the Drake unfortunately going in favor of the blue team there. We do see one hit onto the Echo. Echo is being probably taken out of this fight. Yes, he's been taken out. There is a teleport in from Sin. So just trying to create some more havoc there. And looks like they're just getting out of this situation, and just a retreat there from the Red Team. They have created an advantage for themselves, which is fortunate, I would say, for them. The Jhin now has the second Infinity Edge, so that is something. Tristana went for a rapid fire cannon, so both of them should be close to 100%. So that is that. But right now we can just see both teams are waiting for the next fight. The next Drake fight will be immensely important. Both teams need this Drake. There is no other option right now for both teams. One Drake, and that will probably be it. We do see the Echo recalling right now. So this fight will be the setup. The Jin doesn't really have much more. Well, he has a bit more scaling with the Dark Harvest, but not that much that we would say that could be really a key point in this matchup. And both teams are just setting up what they can, get a bit more farm in, everything you can get right now to just push yourself farther forward before the next Drake fight will be so immensely important. As I said, the next Drake will be the soul. Doesn't matter who gets it. Either it's a 4 mountain soul for the blue team, which gives them a lot of armor. Let's be honest about that one. Or we have the mixture. But now we do see the Echo biting the dust in that fight. We do have the Jin being pressured now by the Singe out, thanks to a hook actually there. We do see the Singe now going down for that one. 2 members are gone out of that fight for the blue team. Can the red team take advantage of this one? That hook unfortunately doesn't hit, but we do have the Baron buff minions, so the power play is still in effect right now. We do see them pushing far forward still. Jin is getting a few shots in there, just taking something down. Looks like the inhibitor will be the next victim of this fight. This one right now, maybe we won't even get to see the Dragon Soul because it looks like red team is just pressuring forward, just plowing forward. They're getting so much more out of this right now. There is now the ultimate. The Nautilus ultimate went out of there. What they can. Tristana goes onto the Nautilus, loses a lot of HP for that one, gets shot out of the head there. There is a. The Jin goes down for that fight, so this could still be open for both sides. Morgana does drop dangerously low, gets executed there. We see the Udyr just fighting the Kennen down. We do see right now how they're trying to turn this one around. Darius taking a lot of damage there. And the Nexus does fall, and the red team win. It was a close one in different positions, so yeah. So that was a good matchup. So to remind everybody, this is a project I'm going to keep on doing with casting different games and hopefully from viewers who want to watch them. So as always, I'm gonna say there is an email address, alenvilcast@gmail.com. I'm gonna put it in the description this time actually. I forgot that last time, so naughty. Send me your replays of your games, League of Legends you can do. When Rainbow Six Siege brings out the replay feature, I would say send that to me as well. I will work on that. I will work on a lot of games, so if you have a game you want to give me just a clear video of the game where I don't only see you playing but actually other people as well, because it's kind of rough to cast the game out of one perspective. So if you can give me, for example, if you have a StarCraft 2 match, there is a replay file on your PC. If you know how to use it, you can send me that one. And a lot of games do that where you have replay files where you can just send them, or codes or anything. So if you have any game where you can send me a video or even a replay file, most of the games I will try to look if I have them. And if I have them, I will cast them. If not, if I don't have them, I will probably send you a message telling you, unfortunately, I can't do it, but otherwise, I'll do as many as I can. As I said, in the description below will be the link to that. And that is it for this cast, so thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye!